Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner. This is my review for Ready to Love, Season 3, Episode 10. I thought this episode was the season finale. Next week is the season finale, so I was surprised about that. But I think what happened on this episode, they had to add an extra episode because of things that happened and everything. So, we see the episode starts off. We see Joy and Jay hanging out, sitting around looking all lovey-dovey and how he cared for her, how she cared for him. And she brings up how he gives me butterflies. I was like, I don't see it. Like, I really feel like the connection they have must be so real. They not really trying to be all in the camera or whatnot. I feel like the connection they have is more of like when they together, they vibing. And ain't nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying that I feel like they don't have a genuine connection, but I still feel like something about Jay seems fraudulent to me. Damn, I didn't even do my own intro, girl. I started off with the whole thing. But hello, JayBirds, subscribe, relax, relate, release. Follow me on IG and Twitter at J_Release_Corner. I went fully into the show and honey did not do any of my intro. I'm sorry about that, but y'all know how I be sometimes. Anyway. But again, I felt like there was something fraudulent about Jay. Just how he acted between him and Joy. What I'm going to assume is I seen him more with Winter than I seen him with Joy. So that could be the reason I felt like he was being fake, because he wasn't trying to really be with Winter. He was really trying to be with Joy. So I'm going to assume that's what it was, because this episode I did see a difference in him when I seen him with Joy, finally, or whatever. We also see Kelfani and Denise hanging out, chit-chatting and everything. She like, you have always been my number one the whole time or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And that's how it's been the whole time. And he like, well, you were also my number one until recently or whatever. And then, things happened. And then Adriana came around a little bit more, whatever. And me and her got closer. So, I kind of picked her as my number one. And Denise then said, could you see her as the mother to your kids? And he was like, yes, I can. I really could and everything. And, oh, so you picked her without even having a conversation with me? And he was like, well, what you mean? Like, we talk all the time. Like, I don't get what you mean. Like, I didn't, talk to you about me, kind of being closer with her. And Denise, look... Denise is not ready to love. This episode did not make her look good as far as where she was in her plight to be with somebody or whatever, because I felt like she was just flailing in the wind trying to pick and choose whoever she could pick and choose or whatever. Because, for her to then say like, as a woman, it hurts to be chosen as second best. And I felt like our vibes was like a slap in the face. And I guess she feel like, it was a fake vibe. But I'm like, I feel like we as viewers could feel the shifts and the connection between you and him when you kept acting a little bit crazy, deranged, or whatever. And when he was hanging out more with Adriana. So I feel like she wasn't properly reading the room, because again, the intensity that she had and what they were, I didn't get that from him. Once she was being a little bit extra or whatever. She also brings up how, well, that's fine, you know what I'm saying, because, not just fine. She's like, that's kind of weird because I was starting to love you. And that's a lot based on my past, okay, but I'll be okay. So we then see, it's a stormy, rainy day, just a gloomy ass day. And I was like, oh, Lord, okay, and we then see Jay talking and everything in his confession. He's like, production came and got me, and something seemed off based on how they came and got me, and they then took me to Joy's room. And then Joy was in there, and Joy tells him that her sister died. I was like, oh. And, he brings up how she had talked to her sister like hours earlier within that day. So her sister was fine, but again, it was unexpected. So we don't know, again, what happened besides her sister was okay. And then a few hours later, her sister had passed away. And so, Joy is going to leave because, again, she's distraught. So we see Tommy and Jay sit down and talk about it. And like everyone, it's like just a somber feeling, and that's just how it is and everything. And Jay looks distraught because again, seeing Joy so distraught, and Tommy brings up how he fully understands a loss that close because again he had lost his father. Man, when I tell you, man, I cried because again, people don't get that. You know what I'm saying? You really have to experience the loss of a parent to get it. And it's just it's and that's why I'm like Joy losing her sister the way that she did. Like, it's my dad. I talked to my dad hours before he passed away from a heart attack. And so it is that shocking, but I just talked to you. He was fine. Like, what happened or whatever. So again, Tommy's just expressing in his own emotional way. Like, it's tough. It's very, very tough. And the only thing that get a person through is having some kind of support system and also remembering good times. So you have to help her remember good times, help her to, be a support system to her in whatever way she needs and everything or whatever. And so Jay, like, I just want to be there for her, you know what I'm saying? But I also don't know what to do for her because, again, how do you, support someone who is going through that? And it ain't nothing you can do because the feeling that a person has internally, nothing, you're so numb that nothing will help you because your whole being is numb or whatever. But seeing how distraught he was, I felt like that was the realest I had seen Jay this whole show. And it was the realest moment because he was being authentic with his love and affection for Joy. But again, I felt like, damn, that's the real Jay. Okay, cool. Now I see why Joy likes him. So we then see, Joy leaving. Jay is walking her out or whatever, they're holding hands and walking. And man, it's like camera footage, like security camera footage or whatever. Not the cameras like following them around. And the way as she got to the door and she let out this emotional scream of pain is the best way I can describe it. Is when the pain in you just comes out in a noise and it's like a scream, it's like a yelp. And it's like, I can't do this. And she just kind of broke down. Jay just grabbed her and held her because you could tell, because she's having to now go home because her sister died. So that's the hard, and she's by herself too. So it was just, I cried, bro. Because just to see her kind of just have that broken down moment of like, it was the noise. It was the noise for me. And I feel like it's the same noise I remember hearing when my dad died, because when the doctor came in and said like he died, the noise we all made was like this. It was just this noise, and that noise, it was the same thing. But anyway, she left, and it was just so sad. So we see Tommy, who meets with the rest of the cast and lets them know like Joy has left the show because her sister passed away. And I feel like Winter knew, maybe Winter and Jay was the only ones who knew, because the look on their face looked like they knew. Adriana may have knew too, but I don't know, sometimes she looked funny. But again, he tells them what happened, and everyone is, completely shocked, and it was just like, wow. So, we don't have, anything planned for y'all today. Like, just take this day to, do what you want to do or to deal with it how you see fit. Take the time to just, embrace, your emotions or whatever. And we then see a video of each person, giving their words of encouragement and condolences, and thankfulness to Joy and what she has either meant to them or how she has, helped them and everything. Just how she was on the show and then meeting her. It was really, really great. Okay, let's move on past that because again, I don't want to keep being sad. Excuse me. We later see Denise and Kelfani talk again. And remember, they talked earlier. Okay, and he told her that, he was focusing on Adriana and everything. And so she's like, but I have been looking for a sign, of something to solidify, the feelings I have or whatever. And that happened with Anthony. Like, I got that feeling or whatever. So me and you have to break up because my vibe with Anthony is better, whatever. And I feel like I'm, growing to love him. And he was like, okay, like it was weird. And I'm looking like, but he told her already that, you know what I'm saying, he was picking Adriana. So I was like, why is she now saying, like, I was like, that's just weird. And he even says in his confession that, you know what I'm saying, he had no idea they were even in a relationship, that she would have to break up with him. I said, I didn't know that either. I was confused too, because even in her confessional, she brings up how, Kelfani picking whoever else, and then she was really telling him that to see if he would fight for her. Like, let me tell Kelfani I'm gonna pick Anthony, and then would that make him fight for me? But he didn't. I'm like, why are you playing games, man? What is going on? It just made her seem like she was trying to win. Okay, but I'm gonna leave that be. He like, all right, that's fine. If you want to love with Anthony, that's cool with me. You want to break up with me? That's fine too. I didn't know we was a couple, but again, cool. So we then see Jay. Jay meets with Winter. And this is the day after Joy has left because of her sister. And, she brings up how she had been looking for him just to see how he was doing, because she knew how much he cared for Joy. And he said, we always taking time just, work through my emotions or whatever. So I took some time to do that. And then he explained, like, you have been a person who was my number two, since this thing started or whatever. But, with Joy being gone, I don't want to give you half of me. And I'm like, I'm so happy he said that, because had he not said that, it would have confirmed my fakeness of Jay. Okay, he brings up how because of that he decided to leave, the show and go be a support system to Joy. And I'm like, he cared for Joy, because my thing is, if he didn't, he would not have left. I felt like the way he was looking and acting and carrying on, not even carrying on, but the way he looked sad because Joy left. Had he stayed and then tried to be with Winter, it would have made him a total asshole. It would have meant that he was fake. So I'm happy he is leaving. Okay, and I love how Winter was like, I 100% understand it. I support you leaving to go be with Joy. Like, go support my sister. It was a wonderful thing to see. You don't have to make it to the end of the show, to have this connection. And Joy and Jay have a connection. Now, where it goes after the show is over and they're in the real world, we shall see on reunion. Okay, we're gonna see that. But again, it was cool. She also brings up how with Jay leaving and her having more of a bond with Anthony, it helps her because, again, she can now fully focus on Anthony and not have to worry about Jay at all. We then see the cast all meets with Tommy. You know what I'm saying? And Tommy brings up how, no one should look at this, situation or the show or this show basically as someone has to make it to the end. You have to make it to the end of the show as a couple or it doesn't work or whatever. He like, this show was more about making a connection and where that connection takes you. Because if we remember last season, people who made it to the end wasn't even together at the reunion, and people who did not make it to the end had started dating after the show, and they were a couple then. So again, it's about making a connection in some kind of way. He says, so I want y'all to, remember that. And Ernest then brings up how, he realized how he did care for Joy. But, realizing how much of a connection that Joy and Jay had, he realized that even more when the sister passed away, based on just how things played out. He said he also realized that God sent him there for other reasons besides finding love with someone else. You know what I'm saying? And so he was making a choice to leave the show because he said, I feel like I was on a different path. You know what I'm saying? And I'm leaving here now as a better man, and that could have just been the path and the reason I came here. And when Tommy said, I feel like, you leaving here as a better man, but you're also leaving here because you fell in love with yourself, and that will help you find love with someone else. And I do think that's true. Even the fact that he is now open to therapy, he left here better than how he came in. He left here with better friendships. He left here and was better for knowing Joy. Like, I think him saying like, God sent me here for a whole different purpose. And I was like, that's amazing. Okay, love it. And then he left. Boom, pow, pow. So why I say boom, pow, pow? Where I even get that from? Boom, pow, I don't know. Anyway, we then see Anthony and Kelfani have a little chit chat and everything or whatever, outside talking, and they both are bringing up how things are dwindling down, how Denise has always been in their top one or two the whole time. And at first I'm like, why is these men sitting around talking? But I feel like it's the right thing to do if one of the women you're choosing between, if y'all have to make a choice. I don't think there's anything wrong with the conversation they had initially. Kelfani brings up how Denise came to me and told me we was breaking up, okay, and how she is now in love with you. Now, that was a bit of gossip, in my opinion, or whatever, but I also feel like Kelfani felt like Denise was on some bullshit and trying to play both sides, so he was kind of leveling the playing field, but it was also a bit messy because you didn't have to tell Anthony what she said if you was gonna pick Adriana. Like, I'm like, what's the point of that? Like, why ruin her game? But again, I mean, Denise, girl, made her own bed, lying it. Anthony brings up, so wait, if she broke up with you, so y'all was a couple, so I was like her number two? I don't even know what to do with that. And I feel like, again, Denise stopped reading the room a long time ago, and I don't know why, because again, I can see this from a mile away. Once Anthony and Winter went on that date and they kissed, I'm like, okay, they gonna be a couple, or they're gonna at least try to be a connection or whatnot. But I mean, Denise just, honey, on some bullshit. So from there, okay, we then see Denise and Winter talking separately on the inside or whatever, both bringing up again how they like Anthony or whatever. And Denise then said, well, I broke up with Kelfani. She's like, you broke up with Kelfani? She's like, and I told him that I care more for Anthony, that I'm falling in love with Anthony. She was like, oh, with Anthony in love? Okay. Because again, her and Anthony have been linking and connecting with it. So she's like, I'm completely shocked. I can't believe this shit. So Denise brings up how it's Kelfani's loss that if he can't see that she was the prize. And we see her saying that as we see Kelfani and Adriana walking around and whatnot. And I feel like every woman is a prize to who is supposed to win her, for lack of a better term. I feel like Denise really feels it's this why the ending for me is weird, because she wants to be the prize for either Anthony or Kelfani, but because each man because Kelfani was like, I'm picking Adriana, it was weird, like she was just trying to play both sides to try to win either one of them. We're gonna leave that be. So Winter is like, I'm not going to make any judgment on her psyche or her mind or whatnot, but I feel like her decision to tell Kelfani that she loves Anthony was more of a strategic move than something that of her really being like in love or whatnot. I say it was, because she told us in her confessional that she told him that hoping he would fight for her, and it did not work. Okay, we're going to leave that be too. So Winter feel like, okay, maybe I'm out the loop and I don't want to be. Let me go in and, check in with Anthony, because again, if he is in love with Denise, I don't want to be here looking stupid, okay? And so he's like, I don't know. He's like, no, like, we on the same page. Like, we see each other. Like, I don't know what she mean. Like, no, it's me and you, whatever. And they kiss and whatnot. So again, like, no, it's me and you. So again, boom, pow, pow. Now, Adriana and Rashid. I feel like she's fake, and she just wants to be here to be on the show. I don't think she wants Kelfani just to win over Denise. I don't think she really wants to be with him. I think even if she chooses him, they will not be together in real life. Something about her is just fake to me. I think she had a better connection with Rashid. She did. I think had she nurtured that and not nurtured this petty bullshit between her and Denise, she would have been better off. I'm gonna leave that be too. And Kelfani's so blinded by her being a young cute thing or whatnot, he don't see the bullshit. Anyway, Rashid asked her, will you my number one? Am I still your number one? She don't really answer the question. She's like, well, I haven't made a decision yet. I don't know, whatever. He admits that he puts all his eggs in her basket, okay? And even if she did not pick him, he still enjoyed being there and dating her, which was really nice of how he worded it or whatever. And they do kiss because they was playing Jenga, and one of the things when you pull a thing out was, to kiss the person or whatnot. But again, she's fake to me. I really feel like she's faking liking Kelfani. And I don't think that she's faking not liking Rashid, but she's keeping him. She was keeping Rashid just in case Kelfani picked Denise. Okay, and I really think Rashid was a great person, and I hope he found love somewhere. So we then see Anthony meets with Denise. Okay, they walking and talking. No, it was on a little date or whatnot. Because again, I need to check in with her based on her telling Kelfani that she was in love with me and that she broke up with him. So I need to figure out what it is she's talking about. And she goes into when nothing has changed with us. Me and you have always been A1 since day one. I'm like, but that's not true. Like, you didn't start liking him until you said you felt like you had to look at other people because Kelfani was started liking Adriana. So again, she lying and she look like she lying or whatever, okay? And she then say, I'm falling for you, okay? It's me and you, it's me, I'm falling. I am FALLIN. I'm like, girl, do not you see right in the start, girl. And he like, this is some bullshit. Like he's not saying to her is bullshit, but his facial expressions is some bullshit. And then the confession is like, she's lying. Like, this is not real. Like, she is not being real because you don't love me. You're doing it to do what? To make Kelfani mad, and it's not working. It was really, really fake. Okay, so we then see Tommy again meets up with all the people. He like, you know what, it's time to wrap this on up and everything. If y'all have any entanglements, it is time to untangle them because again, you have to make a choice. And to help you do that, we'll have your family come in. I'm like, it's like, what? That's when I realized, okay, the show wasn't ending today. It's gonna go on to next week or whatever. I'm like, it's like 2 minutes left. But their family will come in to meet the person and whatnot, and then they'll pick whoever. So it's really between Adriana has to pick between Kelfani and Rashid. I really wish she would have stuck with Rashid. Because I don't see her, I do not see her and Kelfani as a true couple lasting. And that's because she's not really there for that man. Why his ankles look ashy? I don't know. Anyway, and I would have preferred her with Rashid if I did not feel that she was fake. Okay, so that's one, threesome or whatever. And then we have Winter, Anthony, and Denise. And again, I feel like Anthony will pick Winter, and I like them. Okay, it's the start of a connection. I do wish they would have been connecting sooner, than now. But again, starting it right now is still fine with me. Anyway, so Anthony then asks, Denise, can I talk to you real quick? And so they walk off and everything or whatever. And he like, you were my number one. You know what I'm saying? But things happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to lead you on, because basically Tommy said, like, you have to let go of any entanglements. And he like, so I just want you to know I'm going to be moving forward and wholeheartedly put my feelings and, my stuff into Winter. And she was like, oh, okay, yeah, Winter is a better choice for you. And I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? She then say, whether I leave here with you or with Kelfani, I'm saying I don't have to leave here with a man to validate my love for myself. And he was like, okay, that's fine. Kelfani was picking somebody else too. And I'm like, oh, Anthony, the shade of it all. I mean, letting her know, like, I didn't choose you and neither did he. Well, I would prefer to hear that from him. He like, well, I'll give him everything. That's fine. Okay, I'm just saying or whatever. But, he like, I can't believe she acting as if she don't care when just yesterday when we was at dinner and whatnot, she was telling me how much she cared for me and how much she loves me, whatever. Like, but today, yes, Winter is a better choice. Denise came off a little bit nutty boo boo or whatever, and so I was just like, girl, bye. But I'm like, would you? It was weird for her to say, if I leave with Kelfani. I'm like, but didn't you tell him that you broke up with him? Denise, maybe she was sleepy. Maybe she was tired. I don't know. So as he walks away, she's like, ask Kelfani to come over here to talk to me. Like, okay, that's fine. So he go and say, Kelfani, Denise wants you. He then tells Winter, like, I went and told Denise, and I'm going to, fully put my efforts into us, trying to get further or whatever. Okay, cheers. And she just laughs, not laughs, she smiles. Like I won smile or whatnot, but it was so cool. And then with Denise and Kelfani talk, she's like, I just want a man who, will work to keep me. I just need somebody who are not out here looking for options or whatever. The guys here were was looking to win. They just wanted options or whatever, and they would leave at the drop of a dime. I'm looking like, but you was wholeheartedly trying to win either man, trying to play them against each other. I'm like, you batshit crazy, Denise batshit crazy. And so when Kelfani come over, she's like, Anthony said that you have something to tell me. He was like, what would y'all talk about that what I do? Well, he was look, you've been my number one since day one, Kelfani. He's like, yeah, but you told me we done, that you broke up with me, whatever. And now you love Anthony, so I'm going to just, I'm letting this thing be. I'm letting it go or whatever. And, I'm saying, I'm cool with what I'm cool with. And she was like, oh, well, okay, no hard feelings or whatever. And she then gets up and she struts away. And I am the queen, okay? I am the queen. I'm leaving you with my head held high. I'm saying? The men here were not made for me. I'm the true winner who did not settle. I'm looking like, but you was trying to settle with either Kelfani or Anthony. We saw you try, girl. Anyway, and now it's the end. We'll have to wait till what happens next week to see how it goes or whatnot. But anyway, I'm done. Peace.